I'm Chief Steve Hudson of the Prince William County Police Department. Police officers are committed to serving and protecting our citizens every day. Each shift is inherently dangerous and unpredictable for police officers. And on average, a law enforcement officer is killed in the line of duty every 57 hours in the United States. The Prince William County Police Department has had our own share of tragedies. When one of our own is killed in the line of duty, a permanent hole is left in the fabric of our force, a hole that can never be filled. Such a death has a profound and devastating impact on family, friends, and colleagues of the fallen officer. As it is inscribed on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Memorial, it is not how these officers died that made them heroes. It is how they lived. Officer Paul Thomas Pete White died on October 27, 1973, as a result of injuries sustained in a traffic accident while responding to a call. Officer White left a lasting impression on his fellow officers and on the citizens he so bravely served. He also left family members without a son, grandson, uncle, and brother, and he left his wife a widow at age 22. This is the story of Pete White.
Blind date. I went out with a friend, he went out with a friend of mine, and by the end of the evening we both realized we were with the wrong people. So eventually he called me, we went out, and that started the whole ball rolling.
We were hired in the summer of 1971. We were a group of 10 officers that were hired. We started our police academy class in August of 1971. That's how I first met Pete. And if you're with somebody for 8 hours a day for 16 weeks, you get to know them. You know who their family is and their wives are.
From the moment he got out of high school, he wanted to go into some form of law enforcement.
Because at age 20, you could become a full-fledged police officer in DC. He joined the Metropolitan Department first. But he wanted to be in a department where he could raise his family and be close to work and be close to, children and activities and things like that. So he knew he didn't want to do that in the district. It was just not, it was not a place, number one, that you could afford a home. Nor was it, he felt, a good place to raise his children. So then he decided that since my cousin was so happy here, and since he, thought he could be happy here, we could live here, it would be a good place to raise children, we could afford a home. So he decided to move here first. And then after that, we got married. He loved everything about police work. He was the kind of guy that didn't even mind doing in Metropolitan. None of the guys wanted to be crossing guards. But when a crossing guard was absent, they had to fill in. For him, that was a bonus. He loved helping people, being able to make his community a better, stronger place. The only thing, he didn't really like bad accidents. Those were, the nights that he would come home and wash his hands.
We only worked together for a little over a year and a half before he has his tragic accident.
You never know when that knock's going to come on the door. It was, I think, around 5:30 in the morning. So it's not something you're expecting. And I looked out the window, and they came to the door and they said, that there had been an accident and they wanted to take me to the hospital.
When we came into the station, when we got off that morning, our sergeant had told us what had happened. The information was kind of sketchy. We knew that he was involved in a traffic accident, responding to a call for service. that he was seriously injured.
A lot of that day is a blur. I kind of just led through the day. And the doctors did tell us that he had suffered a fractured skull. By the next day, he had started to have brain swelling. And as I got in the elevator, I saw the cover of the Journal Messenger that says "Officer Critical After Crash." And kind of lost it again.
And those days and the hours that passed were difficult because we knew that his condition was worsening and it was critical.
To me, he was my older brother, which is invincible.
The longer it went on, it almost kind of seemed hopeful that if you survive through today, you're going to make it through tomorrow, you're going to make it through the next day, and there's going to be a miracle. You know, unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. I think of him every day. There's not a part of my life that I don't think of him.
1 minute you could be alive and well and handling calls for service, and the next minute you could be critically injured and gone. So it really is a dose of reality, if you will.
He loved his family, and he died doing what he loved to do, and that was protecting and serving the community. 40 years later, I go to the cemetery once a week, and a day goes by that I don't think about it.
I love you, and I'm proud of you.